morning, friends, and welcome to Read and Art Series of Maestro. And today we're going to talk about the great American election. Yes, this time the elections of America was really topsy-turvy, and it was really amazing and most significant in many aspects. Recently, what we have seen that what was going on, the shuffle, the colors, the chaotic situation in the counting, the entire working and the rivalry of Trump and Biden has turned out to be really worrisome for the world, because what is happening to the most important democratic nation of India, which is most important democratic nation of the world, and what exactly the situations there is all about. But one thing that is very significant, what we have seen, the change in situations that has moved from the mighty Trump to Joe Biden. We have to understand the presidential college, the presidential work of workings and electoral procedures in the US of A. Firstly, what we have seen when we started, the election started, it was saying like that, the great American dream, and Mr. Donald Trump has encashed in the last election. The fight between the Republican and Democrat was really very tough and high. The last elections, the great American dream, the powers, the American as a mighty things, and feed the Americans, and American as until central nucleus of the world perhaps, was being propagated and promoted by Donald Trump, and he could manage to get that things. Some people sort of wonder also and feels like that if there would have not been a corona things or here's things, it would have been a really cakewalk or perhaps an easy things for Donald Trump to make it up. But on the other side, if we could see the homework which was done by Joe Biden, it was really very well formed, so well grounded, and it was targeted to the middle class, upper middle class, and somewhat was not being in more affluent and the rich, which was more controlled and perhaps impressed by Donald Trump. And somewhere the economy of the US was also worrying, and somewhere people feel like that. No, at this point of time, we don't need merely a commercial output, but we need more of a sensible things. Though the most often arrogant or adamant, you say, was of Donald Trump was considered as an attitude of Trump, and perhaps he had extended it as an attitude of an America, not merely him. So he was trying to signify his bold, outrageous, or perhaps the go daredevil attitude as that of an America. He was putting it himself in that regard. But we could see that America could not correlate with it. And what has we seen the shift in the votes and election that was put like that. Most importantly, second aspect is like that, especially the female voters has turned more to Biden compared to Trump, because what we have seen in the past few years that the kind of respect, the kind of dignified behavior which was expected from a politician was not expected. It was appearing like a Shah or a dictator, a democratic dictator perhaps in all sense. And he was going in a heavy manners, making the things work like that. Here I would like to say perhaps if it had not been a corona things or have not been a China challenge or other things, it would have been easy, as it said like that. But what we have seen in the Second World War part also, when Winston Churchill was fighting and bravely he could handle the Second World War and he could get to the victorious thing and the red carpet for the UK. But suddenly after the elections, the next elections after that, Churchill could not stand and he lost against the Labour Party, and Italy came into power. And at that time, the survey or the peoples of the UK has said that perhaps Sir Winston Churchill was a great prime minister in the time of war, but for the time of peace, not. And that's how they actually came in. So perhaps we have to take it up in that regard. Mr. Donald Trump would have been a great entrepreneur, would have been a great statesman, perhaps would have been a good, bold decision in the time of a flourishing time of US of A, or perhaps more in the commercial time of USA. But in this hard time, in this a time where a sensitivity and sensible and compassionate behavior is expected, what America has shown as inclination, it's towards the clear understanding of the great American dream, and that is to make it more sensible and more acceptable, and as a big brother of the world, accepting everyone, carrying everyone, and moving everyone in the common phrase. And that's how Joe Biden has been. elected as a new president of United States of America. Hope we keep our fingers crossed and feels that in coming days it will work as a work for global peace. It will have and more understanding and correlations with other parts of the world, and the bullying nature of US of A well it turns out to be more compassionate, more understanding, giving respect to the other borders and territories also. And especially in the South Asian factors, it will be considered more lenient towards understanding the developing countries, considering workings on their economic, social, educational, and financial resources. Things will turn out to be more. And after the pandemic will be over, the new worlds and new America will be overhauled with a great power, with a great image, with a new vigor and vitality. Praying for peace and prosperity for all, and praying for states and the entire world. This is all from Maestro. Thank you. Vande Mataram.